Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Christian.
Hi, Siddharth. How are
Hi,
you? Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry, somehow it's defaulted to me as the host. I'm just trying to allow anyone coming in to get in.
Okay, thanks.
Lee is not going to be able to make it today. Happy to help host from Contributor Success Team and to allow your team to tell us everything with Gitaly.
Actually, it will be about Git, not Gitaly, because the Gitaly team is about Gitaly and Git. So, and I'm kind of specialized in Git. So I hope it's okay for everyone.
Did you want to introduce who's on the call from the team or everyone that's on here?
Yeah, if it's okay to start here, I can introduce myself and perhaps others can introduce themselves. So I'm Christian Couder. I'm a staff engineer in the Git team, which is part of the Gitaly team. So, and we are 4 or 5 people in the team, and we try to improve Git for GitLab and for the community in general. Daniel, can you introduce yourself, or I don't know if it's necessary?
Sure, I'll do a quick one. I'm Daniel from the Contributor Success Team at GitLab, and we've been inviting different product teams from GitLab to share about their groups and so that the community at large can learn about different opportunities and projects to contribute to at GitLab and what the group sort of works on and what the contribution process could look like. So we're having Gitaly today, and I'm happy that everyone here is telling us about Gitaly. Missy, would you like to continue?
Sure. Hi, my name is Missy. I'm a backend software engineer, and I'm a community contributor, but I haven't contributed to Gitaly yet. Mostly worked on GitLab, and done different stuff like the pipeline verification team, like verification execution, and the releases team, what used to be the releases team. Should I pass it over to Siddharth?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Siddharth. I'm contributing to GitLab from my sophomore year of engineering. I'm also a core team member, and I'm working with in Google Summer of Code with Christian. So our goal is to add a feature in GitLab and Gitly team. So I'm working Gitly team and contributing to Gitly and Gitly Git also. Yeah.
Ashutosh, do you want to introduce yourself? No, not sure.
I think in the chat there, just to read that loud, Ashutosh says, "Hey everyone, Ashutosh this side. I have been actively contributing to GitLab, and I'm pretty much fascinated by the work culture. Glad to have you here."
Great, thanks. Okay, so maybe I can start. Yeah, so I guess I should share my screen or to start right away with some live coding, except yeah.
How about even before sharing the screen, just a couple quick questions for anyone who's not familiar. Like what is Gitaly? Like what is the kind of the role of Gitaly for GitLab? Just like kind of a brief overview.
Okay, yeah, sure. So Gitaly is the software that is an interface between Git and GitLab, and it's useful to distribute Git over many machines, or and to try to make it scalable and high availability and all those new features. So the way Gitaly works in general is that it works using RPC calls. So it's kind of a server architecture, and so GitLab sends RPC calls to Gitaly to get information or to ask for some things to happen on the Git side over different machines. Or so yeah, it's kind of yeah, a software layer to try to scale Git over different machines. And by the way, we are not it's fully open source, and GitLab is not the only company using it. There is a company called Hugging Face, which hosts models and things related to AI, to and they use Gitaly to scale Git and to manage Git repositories as well. Yeah, so is it enough, or do you have questions already about Gitaly or Git maybe?
Well, I'll open up if anyone else has an initial question. Otherwise, I would ask what sort of, probably a good thing to talk about would be the opportunities for community members to get involved, and if there's anything specific with Gitaly that you'd be looking for help from community contributors. And also I'd be interested, so I wasn't aware that there were other projects using Gitaly. Would a contribution to Gitaly benefit other projects as well that are using it besides GitLab?
Yeah, we have a few contributions from Hugging Face, so it's an independent company, and also there are people from other companies who might use the open source GitLab version or something derived from this version. We don't always know, and sometimes they find things that could be improved in Gitaly, and so they contribute to it. Like, for example, there is probably there are contributions from someone from Alibaba, the big Chinese company like Amazon. So we are guessing that they are using some kind of Gitaly version, but we don't know exactly. So, but yeah, so we, that's pretty much it as far as I know. But everyone is welcome to contribute to Gitaly. And yeah, about Git, there are a lot of contributors to Git, as you know, for many different companies like GitHub, Microsoft, Google, and many others. And by the way, yeah, I've been involved with Git since 2006, and I'm also one of the 4 members of the Git project leadership committee, which is managing the money of the Git project, and also doing mailing list moderation and other things, like taking care of the trademark and other things related to the Git project.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So are there alternatives to Gitaly? Or what if like what is the competitor? If you're not using Gitaly, what are you using?
We don't know of other competitors because there are open source kind of forges like Git or SourceRut or other things, but I don't think they have a separate software layer for distributing Git to different machines. So yeah, we don't know of at least I don't know of other competitors to Gitaly. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Mm.
We have a question here from Ashutosh asking Christian, is familiarity with building Git patches a prerequisite for contributing to Gitaly?
No. So Gitaly is developed in Go, in the Go language mostly, while Git is developed in C, and you can contribute to Gitaly in Go, and so you don't need to build Git. Like Gitaly can build Git by itself in some cases because it kind of manages Git on the server side. So when you build Gitaly, usually you build Git, but it's you don't have to know anything about it. It's fully automated, and you don't have to care basically. Like maybe you need some dependencies like a C compiler and other things like that, so that Gitaly can build Git, but that's as far as as you need to know or to do. Any other question? Or maybe Alfonso, can you talk a bit about yourself?
Yes, I'm a startup founder. I have a company developing tools and processes that helps out productivity times. So it is obviously one of the tools software team use. Primarily developers because I'm the team. So I'm looking to integrate the functionality with GitLab servers and the tools that we're offering to provide tools for productivity for the whole team. Not just developers, but some of the tools are developers, but in general for the whole team to help the team.
Okay, yeah, I have trouble hearing you, like maybe there's some kind of background noise or something, or like, but I hope others have understood what you've said. Daniel, do you think it's okay if I start with sharing my screen and maybe doing some live coding? Or
Yeah, I think that's great. And Alfonso, sorry, it looks like maybe a connection issue or audio issue over there.
Yeah.
But you can also use the chat too if there's any questions to chime in. And Christian, yeah, why don't you go ahead and do a share screen?
Okay, thanks. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so we are going to work on something kind of security related, but not very difficult. So some people have been asking if there was a way to know the Git client version when someone does a clone or uses or services. Oops. So, oops, what's going on? Not sure. So it was difficult to find, but I found that there is indeed a version that that both the client and the server, here it's the server, and here is the client that I'm using. So for example, here I tried to clone, and I used git trust packet, which is an environment variable which tells Git to show the packets that are transmitted between the client and server. So they are Git packets. They are not SSH or HTTP packets. They are, and yeah, you can see that that when I cloned from GitLab in the reply, so this sign indicates that it comes from the server, and this sign indicates that what was sent here comes from the local machine. So the server told me that it uses Git 2.41, and after that I like the Git, my local Git on my machine told the server that I'm using a customized version of Git 2.41. And one thing that we could do to improve this is that we could also send the OS version back. So what I will do is I will try to add code so that we also send like both the server and client are also sending the OS version of the OS they are using. So yeah, first there is a Git command called Git bug report when you are reporting a bug that you can use, and it opens an editor with some questions that you should answer so that you have a good bug report that you can send to the mailing list. And why I'm telling about it, because what's interesting is that it showed the operating system. So Git already has the function to show the operating system that you are using. So we can perhaps just reuse that in what we are, so that we get the information and then we can send it to the server, or the server can send it to the client. And yeah, this way, like the server, for example, GitLab, if it knows about the version of the OS, maybe it can tell users that they are. I don't think we will implement that in Gitaly, but it's it's a kind of an example to show what could be done, but so we could, for example, detect that users are using a version that the OS they are using has some security issues, and we could tell them that they should upgrade or whatever. And so let's try to do that So I will open the so here there is all the Git code, as you can see, and there is a built-in directory there, and in this directory there is a bug report. There is actually a C file for each Git commands. For example, for Git log there is a log.c, and for Git merge there is merge.c, and so on. So for bug report there is this file, and we can see that in this function they are using the uname function to get system information like release version and so on. So maybe we can just reuse that code. So maybe just that. And also, so yeah. Oops. Okay. I will put the code here for now. Also, yeah, I told you that this agent information is sent, and actually it's computed by these two functions in the version .c file here. So so I'm going to just add two other functions like this. Okay. So I'm going to call them OS version, and here to the variable, and so this is a static variable, so it's it's not
but it's also a const.
yes. Yeah, but okay. Also, I need something else from the bug report. Need this. For this function, and yeah, here you can see those functions. It's because Git has some kind of string library called strbuff, and yeah, here and so all the it's yeah, all the string manipulation functions are using this, or nearly all are using these libraries. So I'm going to use them here. And yeah, so here it's um, um, yeah, so here um, the um, yeah, the user agent was from the environment variable git user agent or from a macro. But so here we reuse the same function as in the bug report version. But we just, I think this is not really clean because it's it's better to actually use this function str above detach, and then we will return that. So that should that should do it. Here, this is a function to kind of sanitize what comes from Git user agent, because it could come from an environment variable, or and this might not be clean, but so we could reuse that code to kind of sanitize it also. But for now, I think we will use it like this, and we will see. So in the header, I'm going to add this function here, the function I just created. And now so this function was is used by the packet writing function here. So we are going to make it use also the new function we just wrote. And also it's interesting here. So we are going to add it to both places. Maybe we also need to add it to other places like this. So we will see. Let's start with serve.c. So yeah, or first I can verify that Git compiles. So this is the command I usually use to check that it compiles correctly. No, there is a, yeah. So here we are using this kind of macro. This is a macro, the C macro, to be able to translate error messages and other things. And it needs a special header. So I'm going to find it. So the get text header, because we use the get text library to manage translations and so on. So I'm going to add it here and then try to build again. And now it builds. So as you can see here. So nice. And now I'm going to to check serve.c. Okay, so we can see that it's using a function like this. To kind of advertise the user agent, so the Git version. So we are going to oops, to do the same thing for the OS version. Okay. So let's do it. I'm going to just copy everything. And here we are going to use the function we just called. Yeah, I think it should be okay. So let's try to build the game and see. So the serve.c file got built again. And then we are going to yeah, I was doing some okay. Let's clone from GitLab to see what happens. So as GitLab doesn't have the new Git version, we might not see anything, but anyway, yeah. Here I'm asking the packets to be sent to a local file, and we will see what happens. Oops. Let's try again. Okay, so the clone worked, and yeah, here we don't see anything, I think. No, we don't see. Yeah, there is just the Git version, the Git protocol version, but not the OS version. It's because we clone from GitLab, and GitLab doesn't have this this feature because the Git on GitLab hasn't been updated. But now I'm going to clone from the repo I just cloned from GitLab. So here I use git clone with no local with a no local flag, because otherwise Git wouldn't try to just copy the files from and it would not send packets. But yeah, so let's maybe I should remove the the log, the packet log first. Oh, yeah, it already exists. I think it's a crash or something. Uh, what went wrong? Yeah, or maybe I think we should definitely sanitize things. So I'm going to go back here and add this kind of code. Let's check. I'm going to rename that with just buff, so it simplifies things. Okay, let's try it. So what went wrong? Well, let's try to change connect. Okay, we try. I will try something else. I will just not show some information and see if it changes anything. Right. No. Not sure what went wrong. It's kind of strange. Let's. I tried to do it. Is it? Mm. I tried to do it before and it was working, so I'm not sure. Yeah, I did it a bit differently, so um, um, and that was kind of working. Um, so I'm not sure what's going on here. Um, let's try to check connect what's going on in connect.c. Okay, so um, um, I think this should work. Let's try again. No. Okay, maybe we can try to debug what happened. So let's try. Okay. Let's try to see what happens when we do that. Yeah, so it comes from from line 56. What's doing? So why is it not working? It's kind of strange. Let's see. Um, 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 Here it was also doing these kind of things. Or maybe, yeah, maybe it's not initialized. That's why it doesn't work. Let's try it like this. Um, so it worked. Yeah, here we have the OS version now, here and here. Okay, so let's say that it's fine for today, for today's demo. Okay, so yeah, I hope it gave you some kind of idea about things that we can do on Git to try to improve things on the, yeah, for GitLab and for the Git community. Do you, yeah, maybe I can stop sharing my screen. Or
Yeah, thank
unless,
you, Christian, for that walkthrough. And I think it's good to have the stumbling blocks come up because it tends to be that when our contributors are working on something, that something usually does go wrong, and
yeah,
takes a while to figure out what's going on there.
yeah, and see, it's not always easy to understand what happens. And can you hear me?
Yes, looks like
Okay.
this. I still see
Yeah,
the screen share up, but
I tried to stop, to click on the stop sharing item, but it doesn't seem to work.
I have a question for you, Christian.
Yes.
So I was taking a look at the Gitaly project and looking at some of the issues that are open, but I don't see any that are tagged with seeking community contributor contributions. Is there a different tag that the team uses?
There is a quick win tag, I think, but I'm not sure there are many issues with quick win with the quick win label, actually, because kind of strange that I can't. Can you hear me? Yeah, because as I say, Gitaly doesn't get a lot of contributions from the community. Like we get contributions only from a few companies or people working on in a few companies, and sometimes we try to, for example, Siddharth is a Google Summer of Code contributor, so we try to have people contributing to Gitaly through the Summer of Code. And yeah, it would help if we had more quick win or quick win issues, or, but yeah, so far we also, yeah, perhaps it's a bit more involved to contribute to Gitaly. I don't know. So, but yeah, we should definitely work on labeling more contributions as quick wins.
Yeah, and just to add to that, yeah, Missy, we've been trying to start utilizing the quick win label. And so sometimes an issue will just have the quick win label and will be open to community contributions, even though it doesn't say the old label seeking community contributions, but probably always best to check with someone from that group if it's something that you could work on. So if you find an issue that you're interested in, before getting started on it, kind of reach out to a team member from that group, to the product manager or one of the engineers, just to say, hey, I'm interested in working on this one, but you want to find out if it's still available, like still a good idea for to be worked on, and if it's open to community members working on it, because you don't want to get started on something and then find out that they were taking it in a different direction. And Christian, do you know if anything on that list, the quick win, I'll drop this in the chat here. Do you know if this comes from, I think, your handbook page 2, if anything is not specifically open to community members, or you're not sure about that?
I think every issue is open to community members. As I said, there is no, like, the only issue is
I think we lost Christian there, maybe on that freeze of the screen share. So hopefully Christian can rejoin us. But I did drop that link in the chat for the Gitaly issues, which you can also find for pretty much any project, and then just looking for the quick win label. We'll see if Christian is back on.
Whole company is switching from seeking community contributions to quick win. The better label to look at is always quick win.
So I don't know if that's set in stone yet. I think what basically what happened was the seeking community contributions label was overused to the point where we have like so many issues and no one's really aware of if they're stale or if they're actually actively seeking contributions. So the quick win label has been a newer service that seems to be used more by different groups to identify like an issue that could be worked on. So sometimes you'll find them in conjunction, where an issue will have a quick win label and a seeking community contributions label. And I don't think we've deprecated the seeking label yet. We will definitely announce if that all kind of has an official switch over, but we are trying to work on issue curation at large here, because a lot of times you'll see these issue lists from a group and it might be very outdated. We did ask the Gitaly team to kind of go over that list to make sure all these issues are up to date, and just that everything's kind of still seeking contributions.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Did anyone else have any other questions? Not that I will be able to answer them, but any other comments or feedback too? We are recording here, so we can always share this with Christian after the fact. I don't know if the internet went out over there or something.
I thought it was really helpful. I always appreciate live coding. Maybe at the beginning, it would have been nice to dig a bit more into Gitaly itself. Ah, there he is.
Welcome back, Christian. Missy, did you have any other more specific questions about Gitaly itself that we could answer in these last few minutes?
I had a chance to look through the README and read through that, so that helped a bit, but I was pretty much completely unfamiliar with Gitaly before joining. So yeah, everything I've learned about it was basically on this call today.
Yeah, and probably one of the best ways to learn more would be to try to jump into a contribution and to work with the team members and just dive into the project itself is probably one of the better ways to learn. Any other thoughts or feedback?
Right.
Go ahead. So, I mean, anything else that you wanted to say, Christian, before we wrap up for contributing to Gitaly or opportunities? I think one thing that came up to me because of the debugging issue that you kind of ran into there. Let's say a community member is working on a contribution for Gitaly and they get stuck. What would be the best way for them to find help and to move forward?
Yeah, they can contact the Gitaly team. So there is a in the issue it could, or in the merge request. I think we try to help whenever we can, and yeah. Also, if you want to contribute to Git, there is I will put a link in the chat. There is a page called Hacking Git. Yeah, here. And on this page, there is a lot of information. There are links to tutorials, to doc to build Git, to understand the Git code base, to about also processes and tools that can help with working with the Git mailing list, and a lot of and help a lot of other links, for example, to debug or and so on. But yeah, the documentation for Gitaly is not as complete as this. Yeah, we've tried to put things in some readmes and so on, but it's not as comprehensive as the documentation you can find about Git, about working on Git. But we are trying to improve, and maybe you can also, if you have issues with contributing and you get answers, and maybe you can help with documenting this, and this will improve things for you and others in the future.
Great point. Yeah, contributing to the documentation and contributing guidelines is always very beneficial to everybody.
Yeah.
So another opportunity. Well, thank you again, Christian, and thanks everyone for being here.
Thanks everyone. Yeah.
Appreciate your time, and thanks for joining us today.
Bye.
Thank you so much.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.